Delia Owens once wrote, "She never collected lightning bugs in bottles. You learn a lot more about something when it's not in a jar." I couldn't agree more. I used to look at the world through a very narrow lens. I could only capture frames of what I thought was conventionally beautiful, long enough to hang them up on the walls of my subconsciousness. They acted as a reminder, something I could use to construct the mold that I thought my life needed to conform to. As long as I become what others want to see, then I'm worthy, right? The truth is, all I needed was a distraction. I wanted so badly to escape reality, to find a place where I didn't feel like the odd one out. Nothing hurt more than being black and white in a world of radiant color. Unable to paint my way out with the palette that was given to me, my existence confined to 4 sterile white walls. I could tell you that I found the skeleton key to our world, one that could open any door possible. And better yet, I could tell you that my childhood resulted in a storybook ending, a cinematic tearjerker, if you will. But it didn't. And you know what? This isn't necessarily a bad thing either. I'd like to share with you a piece of my story. And so, it begins. I can't remember each and every movement. It blacks in between, a silent amnesia. I move in patterns, in old film, disappearing and reappearing at each interval. What you are seeing now are the highlight reels of my life, made from developing mixture in the darkroom that was once my everyday truth. You see, not every photograph comes from instant film. Some take time before you can truly see them for what they are. I like to call them late bloomers. I was born to 2 halves unfulfilled that never quite completed the fraction. Eventually, my dad passed on and time continued as it does. My mom was always a bit lost. I don't think she ever learned how to work a compass. She always traveled in one direction. And everyone knows that situations fall apart when things go south. Pretending that my mother was a traveling entrepreneur was a lot easier than admitting that it has been 3 days and no one has seen her since she left in some stranger's car. It was a common occurrence for her to dance in and out of my life, conveniently taking thousands of dollars with her each time. I would come to learn that the pipe dream and prescription paradise consumed her will to live, and I was angry for a large portion of my life. Now, this doesn't mean we didn't have any great memories at all, and I have forgiven her, and the healing process has begun. But it became tiring to be so upset all the time, so I traded it in for quiet disappointment. But this is not a story of how I gave up on the world because it gave up on me. This right here is the living proof that joy is not a derivative of one singular factor, and success is not the accumulation of parental love. The very faces that flash before your eyes are the people who showed me that there is more to this world than pain and constant fear. When Mom was back behind metal bars and I needed a couch for the night, these were the people I could rely on. They saw me at my worst, and now they see me at my best. People constantly pass in and out of our lives, but each leaves a residual impact in one way or another. Even if they had no clue to the extent of what was going on behind closed doors, their support healed more wounds than I can even begin to imagine. I wouldn't have enough pennies to count for every time one of my closest friends made me feel alive. Growing up isn't linear. We have a tendency to think we've already reached our moment of enlightenment because at every point till the day we breathe our last is all we've ever known. Some people say you truly come of age when you pass your late 20s or 30s. Honestly, I don't think I believe that. Change is fruitful in every year that we experience. There will always be something new to learn. It's a perpetual motion, and it never stops. I don't care if you're 17 or 70. You're gonna have an equal opportunity to learn from your mistakes, even if the lessons may be vastly different. I have no clue what the future holds, and neither do you. There are infinite possibilities, so why limit them? You are only as strong as you want to be. It took me a long time to realize that. The past is not a definition of who you are, or what you will be. You may have been dealt an unlucky set of cards in this game of life, but they will not determine your character. So love the simple things that make you happy. Because as cliche as it sounds, sometimes it's all you have. Do not live in silence because of things that you cannot change. It's not your fault. I wish I would have realized that sooner. But hey, I guess that's part of my own learning process. I'm going to travel in between the words, rewrite my next chapter. With the help of my remarkable companions, I will leave the jar open this time and paint my walls as colorful as I'd like. My reality is nothing more than a jumble of misguided words. But riddle me this: what's a great novel without a preface?